What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. This is episode 14 now on the series. If you guys remember from the last episode, we completely restored a 2016 Audi R8 in a factory blue color. Again, I have no idea what that color code is, but what we're going to be doing today is getting our Mark IV R32 out of storage. We're going to be bringing it into the shop and completely restoring it. And then we'll maybe even take it out to the racetrack, see how it performs. Hopefully it's better than that R8 was. That thing was just squirrely as all hell. Let's go to our parking here, grab our R32, and we will move it to the garage. Take a look at this thing, guys. It is hideous. It is so rusty. There's half an interior in here. We're missing a steering wheel, missing both doors, missing pretty much every body panel except for the quarter glass back here. So let's move this thing over to car lifter B here. There we go. And really quick, we do have a skill point that we can use. So I'm going to come over here. We have the option of a fuel pressure test, which would be kind of nice for restoration, or sorry, not restoration cars, but the orders that come in, that would be kind of helpful for that. Otherwise, we have this one, which would instantly examine 9 parts when seeing a car for the first time, i.e. An order, barn, junkyard, auction. So since this helps us out with more than just order cars, I think we're going to go ahead and unlock that. As soon as we reach level 45, we'll be able to upgrade our speed here, running around the shop. Looks like we might be upgrading our parking, and I think that is just 100%. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's... Oh, no. We can repair body parts. There we go. So that'll be kind of nice as well when we buy some cars at auction that are just a little bad. This one's very bad. So to start things off here, let's go over and get our welder. Actually, you know what? Let's do it differently this time. Let's not do the exterior until the very end. We are going to focus in on the engine bay here, and we'll get things torn apart. So you guys can see I've already taken the liberty of redoing the underside or the undercarriage of the car. We got brand new subframe in the front, brand new everything, actually, down to the exhaust. We went with upgraded exhaust system. Both sides there, you can kind of see that out of the corner. So we'll start by removing the battery, get rid of this brake servo, ABS pump. We are missing the ABS module, so we're going to have to get a new one of those. Air filter base we can take out, and let's get these things put back in here. Battery we should have. I tried to get as many things as possible before we actually started the episode, so I don't have to keep jumping back and forth between the store. And then let's get the ABS control module on there. You're not gonna have ABS brakes without the control module. It just doesn't work that way. And then we have an upgraded red air filter. I have no idea what that is going to help us out with, but let's get these clips on here around the edges. If any of you have played this game before, you will know that these clips suck. They are so hard to put on. It's just really hard to get your mouse to focus on them because your mouse has what they call mouse acceleration, or I guess they consider it controller acceleration. So if you move your mouse across the screen pretty slow, it will go slow. But as soon as you jump, it just zooms all the way across the screen. It kind of sucks. Let's see, we got a radiator A. I don't believe we have one of those. We are going to have to get one of those from the store. Here I am saying that I bought a bunch of parts right out the gate, but I'm forgetting like one of the most important things here. So we'll buy a radiator. That's no big deal. Slap that thing in there. And then the radiator fan housing B is what we have to go with. So that should be this one and 2 fans, not just one. So we have a big fan and a small fan, which oddly enough is very true in Mark IV R32s. They should have a big fan and a small fan. The control unit for both fans is actually embedded in the larger of the two. If you have a Volkswagen and you're having fan problems, that might help you out. We are going to have to remove this intercooler. This car is not turbocharged, so I'm kind of curious on why we have an intercooler here, but maybe we'll figure that out after we pull this engine out. So we're going to have to, now that we've finished up in the engine bay, we're gonna have to put this thing up in the air just a bit, actually all the way, because we're gonna have to remove the gearbox so we can actually get the engine out of the car, take it over to our engine stand, and rebuild the thing. So first we're gonna have to disconnect our drive shaft here. It's going to be 4 bolts in the back, 4 bolts in the front. So this vehicle, in the game anyways, considers that it's just rear-wheel drive, I guess. So they have this V6B gearbox up here, which essentially makes it seem like it's rear-wheel drive, but they also have a front drive shaft that sort of just runs through the clutch right here. And that sort of gives the illusion that this car is actually all-wheel drive. They are in real life, but for the mod creator on this one, he had to sort of get creative because there is no V6 engine that is all-wheel drive. So now that we've got that taken apart here, let's lower this thing back down. We're gonna have to go get our engine crane, and we will move this over to car lifter B. There we go, and we should be able to pull this sucker out of there. And there we go. Look at that. We got a bare engine bay now. We can take our new engine, or sorry, our old engine, add it to the engine crate over here, and we can get going on this thing. So right off the bat, I know I have a V6B block. I'm not sure I have many of the other components, but we can start tearing this thing apart. Let's take out these pistons here. We're missing a piston over there, and then we should have upgraded pistons with piston rings. Let's get that crank out of there, and then finally get rid of the block. And now we have to completely start over. So we got our brand new block going in there. Fuel filter, I believe. Yeah, we don't have one of those. Let's grab one of those quickly. We should probably get the upgraded fuel filter. I don't know why. I was about to not get that thing. I'm glad I remember there's an upgraded one. We got to be able to filter our fuel as efficiently as possible. This thing is going to make some serious power even without a turbo. So let's grab a crank here. There we go. We got our V6B crank. That's going to be going in right now. Perfect. Okay, now that we have the crank in, we can start putting in these upgraded pistons. They don't have upgraded piston rings, which is kind of strange, but hopefully they can handle all this power. Again, this is not a turbocharged engine, to my knowledge. The engine code is CHG, which to me sounds like charge a little bit, but we'll see. Hopefully there's a turbo on this thing, or a supercharger or something, but I highly doubt it, being as that the R32s are naturally aspirated. It's a VR6. So even like this V6 model is not exactly accurate. All right, we'll slap that puppy on here. Just a couple of bolts. So the VR6 engine is like a 15-degree V6, so very, very tight V configuration. It's almost straight up and down if you really think about it. And the pistons are just staggered enough to sort of fit in almost. It's almost as small as an inline 4 engine block. Almost. It's definitely bigger. It has to be, but okay, so we can get our idler rollers put in here. 4 of those bad boys. There we go. This is going to be the basis for our serpentine belt here, and then we have a water pump we can throw in, 2 bolts on that, and crankshaft pulley for a V8. I know I didn't grab one of those. Okay, we'll get this thing mounted up here. Looks good. Alright, so moving on, we have a alternator. We're going to have to get the upgraded one of those. Power steering pump for V6B. We got an upgraded one from the tuning shop. Arm for V6B I should have. Pretty sure I just got that, actually. Okay, so this looks like it's sort of setting up our little accessory bracket over here. Let's grab an alternator. There we go. Get our upgraded alternator slapped on there. And then the i6, oddly enough, oil filter. All right, we'll screw that thing on there. And then exhaust manifold for V6B. We should have both upgraded exhaust manifolds here. And there we go. One side mocked up. Thermostat for V6B. We don't have. All right, this should be a couple of bolts here. Actually, 4 bolts. That is the strangest thermostat housing configuration I've ever seen. It looks like it sends coolant to both heads. Huh. Yeah, I've never seen something that's that complex looking before. All right, upgraded flywheel. We should have one of those. We're gonna have to change our view here a little bit so we can get this clutch plate in there. Got an upgraded one of those. Basically, we're doing like stage 2 clutch on this thing. So we'll get the pressure plate mounted up, and the original throwout bearing is gonna go back on there. Intake manifold B for V6B. There we go. I actually had this intake manifold A because it looks the most like a R32 intake manifold, but looks like I was wrong. They aren't using that one on this engine. And there we go. We got our intake manifold mounted up. Fuel rail for V6B. We have one upgraded one of those. I have no idea why I only bought one. There's clearly only 3 ports on there. There we go. Grab the second one. Perfect. All right, no bolts required. That's always nice. Camshafts. We do have 4 V6B camshafts. They should be right here. Upgraded ones. Grab 4 of those, and we can get our cams mounted up here. Oh wow, so we're gonna have like a whole camshaft bearing assembly, like a big plate that's gonna go over the camshaft instead of having the normal sort of camshaft caps. That's kind of nice, actually. Camshaft bearing for V6B. Got 6 bolts on each one. We'll just get these mounted up real quick. I like this design a lot. Having to put that little plate on there almost makes it look like we're putting a head spacer on, but I'm pretty sure head spacers go. Yeah, head spacers would definitely go on the other side of the head. They would sort of sandwich in between the head and the block, giving you different compression results for a turbocharged application. Engine head cover B, we're gonna need 2 of, or sorry, A, B, C, and D. No, 2 A's, a B, and a C. So we're gonna have to grab those. Got the B going in over here. 8 bolts. Actually, not 8 bolts. I can't math. Oh, there we go. So we are going to use that intake manifold. Very cool. Okay, so we might even be using, well, I don't know, because that would have 6 ports, so they're just going to sort of put it off. That'll be interesting to see on the engine when we actually put it back in the engine bay, if they're going to put it in vertically or horizontally. I know that's not the term for that, actually, but I can't even think of what that's actually called. There we go. Let's get the other cover input in right here. Sweet. Okay, we are looking good. Now we just have to get this other exhaust manifold put on over here. And we should be about done as far as mounting stuff up here goes. We'll just have to rotate it over and put our rod caps in underneath. So we have one intake manifold, very fancy, super chromed out. That looks super good. And then the throttle for the V6B, we have an upgraded one of those. So we are going to make some serious power with all these upgraded parts. Like half this engine is upgraded stuff. We're gonna need 4 cam gears. Let's get all 4 of these cam gears mocked up here. All right, cert belt B going in. Just kidding. All right, I got cert belt B and cert belt A. So hopefully we don't have to go back to the store for a few minutes here. Get cert belt B put in. We don't have a belt tensioner. We're gonna have to grab that. And timing cover C, we don't have either. There we go. This will help put a little tension on that cert belt. Keep everything in line. Keep all of it in check. All right, timing cover B, we can mount up now. That was timing cover C. Now we can mount up timing cover B, and then we should have timing cover A right there. Perfect. Awesome. 2 bolts in each. We need another roller. There we go. Perfect. And cert belt A right there. And idler roller B. Perfect. So we just have to get this larger roller there, and that's going to go down here. Awesome. So that is the main engine completely assembled. Let's rotate this thing over and finish up the bottom end of this thing. Normally people do bottom end and then they work their way up, but it's just more convenient in the game to do it this way. That way you're not rotating it around all the time. So we're gonna need 6 rod caps and only two crankshaft bearing caps. That's kind of nice. All right, and let's mount these suckers up here. All right, that is the last one. Now we should be able to put on the oil pan, which we don't have, of course, because we are not prepared whatsoever. V6B, and we just have to find oil pan. There it is. All right, and I'm going to attempt to put oil in this thing before we even drop it in the car, because that is the thing that we tend to forget most often. But there we are. We got our oil pan on there. That should be the bottom end completely finished up. And let's see if we can't put some oil in this thing. First, we just have to find the oil fill cap. And it doesn't look like they're going to let us do that here, unfortunately. So we're going to install engine into the car. Brand new CHG V6. And there we go. Look at that thing, guys. That looks awesome in there. So they did put it in sort of vertically. Again, I don't remember the terminology for that, but that looks pretty good. That looks really good. I wonder if they're gonna have the starter for a V8 or if it's just going to be a regular starter, but I guess we'll have to worry about that when we get there. So now that the engine is complete, we can start doing some cooler stuff. So let's move this engine crane out of here, move it back to where it came from. Let's lift the car up. We'll get the gearbox installed, but I do want to take off this intercooler, and I believe we have a new one of those. Large intercooler, get rid of that thing. Let's put in our brand spanking new one. Look at that thing all shined up, looking good. All right, let's hop back behind the engine again. I went for the custom gearbox. We'll have to mess around a little bit with the gearing. I'm not very familiar with how a transmission works. I've always sort of stayed away from anything related to transmission. They seem very complicated. I have no idea what all the gears mean. I know they have synchros and that type of stuff, but again, no clue when it comes to how the gearing's supposed to go. So now that we have the gearbox mounted up, we should be able to drop it back down, and let's put this starter on here. I'm hoping it's just a regular starter. I feel like I probably have one of those in the inventory accessible from under the car. It's a V8 starter, of course. All right, 85 bucks for a V8 starter. Let's get under here and get centered up, and boom, there we go. We can install our starter, 2 bolts, and we should be ready to turn this thing over, but before we do that, it's time to do the body on this thing. So we'll lower it back down here, and we can start taking off everything that is wrong with this car. If you look closely at these headlights, you probably can't tell that easily, but they've kind of rusted out, surprisingly. There, once I take it off, you can really get a good look at all that rust in there. That is gross. All right, there's no windshield. We just got quarter glass in the back here. That's going to be coming out. Front left fender is actually the side skirt. We can remove the rear bumper. There is no quarter glass, or there's no rear glass there. We got quarter glass over here and another side skirt. All right, that is the whole thing taken apart. That is literally the only body panels that we bought this thing with. So let's get our hood put on here. I hope we can put that down. Does the hood stay up on this thing? That really worries me. I hope it doesn't stay up like that. That looks ridiculous. Maybe after we get the new headlights put in here, it'll sort of just lower down on its own. Or maybe we need the front bumper on first. I have no idea. That is so... There we go. Okay, so yeah, you just have to finish up the front end. God, dude, look at that. It looks so good. Front window, front windshield. Front left door, we can put that in. We got quarter glass, or sorry, door glass, and then quarter glass back here. Front left fender, we went with the original fender layout. They did have a couple of body kits for this thing, but honestly, they all look pretty gross. I'm gonna be real with you guys. They kind of look a little too ricey for a European car. So we're gonna be mounting these taillights in here, get the trunk put in, trunk window. The one thing I know about this car when we're going to be driving it around the track is this whole rear trunk window, the little lines that they have in here for the rear defrost are actually going to act as a brake light. So our whole rear trunk should actually light up as if it were one big brake light, which is going to be kind of funny. But we just went for the standard badge here, chrome Volkswagen, and then R32 over there. We do need a GG license plate, so we're gonna have to grab one of those, and we will throw this thing on the back here just like that. Looks good. All right, moving around the car, we got quarter glass over here. I almost forgot about our rear little spoiler there. They had a big wang. All right, nobody has big wang gang when it comes to an R32. You just keep it stock, you keep it simple. As soon as you go big wang, you can't ever go back. It just looks horrible. On this car specifically. Some cars can pull off a big wang, but not this one. This one's too pure. You gotta leave it factory, gotta leave it stock. Okay, so with the new body panels on here, let's go over, get our welder out, and we'll clean this thing up a bit, and then we're gonna get our interior kit as well. And first, let's get rid of this rust. So just take a look at it right now, right? Get familiar with all the rust spots, and then just wait on it. As soon as this welder lets us actually use it, we should be good to go. All right, come on, guy. There we go. Okay, use equipment, $1,000 bucks, and look at that. So factory colors on this, I believe, were like tornado red black magic pearl. They might have had some reflex silver. I can't remember off the top of my head exactly, but my favorite color for Volkswagens is Emola yellow. So we might be doing an Emola yellow R32. That's not a factory color for this model, but I really, really like the look of it. Come on, why are these not working? There we go. It's like when we're looking at the car, when we're like facing the direction of the car, for whatever reason it doesn't seem to want to work. So let's get rid of these things. No, we don't want to use that again. Put them back to where they came from. Perfect. Okay. So with that done, I think it's time we put some baller wheels on here. So I was between the sort of BBS style 5s we put on the Mark 1, and of course I was between the sort of CCW look that we had on the Mark 2 with the wide body. So I went ahead and spec'd out some wheels for us. So let's get rid of these old crusty boys here. Not going to be needing these anymore. Alright, with the crusty boys taken off of there, we can mount up our freshies. So for the front, I did an offset. Let me find them here. So I got a 225/40/18 this time. So we're really stepping up our wheel game. We're getting some bigger lips on here. And I did a offset of 5 for the front wheels. So we're going to be mounting these up here. That should space them out pretty well. So they should be fairly flush. Whoops, we're going to have to go around to the other side. They should be fairly flush with that front fender. I think that looks pretty dang close. And then for the rear of the car, we got 225/40 with an offset in an 18 with an offset of 15. So that's going to space it out just perfectly so we can get some nice thickness in the rear, but also maintain that same tire size that we had in the front. So it'll stretch it a little bit, and look at that. That is like plumb square with that quarter. All right, now let's step back. Just take a look at this thing. Oh my God, dude. Look at that. She thick, boys. She real thick. Look at them. Look at them wheels. It kind of looks like we just have spacers on here with how narrow the actual tire is, but 225/40/18 is a really common size even for a factory wheel. So I think it looks pretty nice. Let's actually, we need to do the interior. What am I thinking? Let's get the interior out of here. Just one seat. And I believe I already purchased new seats. Yeah, there we go. The seat 4 leather D. These kind of looked the most like Recaro's to me. In the R32, they actually had a seat designed by Koenig. So that's kind of what I based this off of. And then the steering wheel, I went with the flat bottom because why not, right? Who doesn't like a flat bottom steering wheel? And look at that. Got a new interior in there. Things are looking good. These kind of match. I say kind of match the rear a little bit, just with those horizontal lines across sort of that chest piece right there. I think that looks really nice. So let's move this thing into the paint shop finally, and let's lay some color on it. I'm really thinking Emola yellow's the way to go here, but I want to check out black first. We do already have a black car though. I don't want to do every car the same color. So I think we try to stray away from that a little bit. We'll get the brightness and the saturation all the way up here. And, ooh, we could do a minty one. That's not a bad idea, man. Hang on. Any liveries? No liveries. Let's change the camera angle around here. Those taillights kind of look god-awful in this light. But, God, if we could do some mint on this thing, that would look so cool. I almost think we should do either a pearl or a matte finish if we were going to do that. So it just sort of looks like it's wrapped, like a vinyl wrap. Chameleon's too much. That puts too much like light blue in the teal. Chrome is over the top. That's not even necessary. I think matte looks pretty good, right? I mean, it makes it look like it's a vinyl wrap. I really think we're gonna go for it. Screw the Emola yellow. We're going straight for some toothpaste right here. That actually looks really nice. I kinda like that. I always wanted to wrap my car this color. One of my friends, Spencer, actually wrapped his Mini Cooper in a Tiffany blue once, and oh, bud, it looks so good. I was envious. And then I was so envious, I tried to wrap my car, and that was a horrible time. If you're ever thinking about doing a vinyl wrap on your car, I highly recommend you not do it. And if you really want to do it, just pay someone to do it. Save yourself the headache. it's a terrible process, especially when you're doing it by yourself. You at least need 2 people if you're gonna vinyl wrap a car. So just throwing that out there. Whoa, dude. Where's our spark plugs and our ignition coils? I can't believe we forgot that. Do we have spark plugs? We don't. I can't believe we forgot spark plugs and ignition coils. Oh my god. And there we go, 6 of each. Let's throw these in really quick. Wow, that was dumb. I tried to move it over to the dyno and it said cannot start engine, and I was like, oh yeah, we just forgot to put oil in it. But I'm glad I noticed that. We missed quite a bit more than just the oil. We would have 0 spark at all. Nothing would have happened here for us. Perfect. Okay, so we should be completely assembled now, I hope. God, the underside of that looks pretty gross, doesn't it? Got that weird star pattern on it. All right, now let's move this thing over to the dyno, and we should be able to test this baby out, see how many horse puppies she's putting out here. First, I want to check what factory is on this engine. 251. I want to say that's close to R32 factory power. I think it's more like 225. I'll put it on the screen if I even care enough to Google that. But let's head over to the dyno test here and get after it. Hopefully this thing makes some serious power. I'm praying that we can get at least 400 to sort of match with the other cars here. Curve's looking all right. Torque curve's definitely pretty high, and then it sort of drops off there. 428, actually slower than the turbocharged Mark 1 and Mark 2, but that's not really a surprise. Probably mess with the gearing here if we wanted to, but I think we'll just leave it. It does have a 6-speed, so we'll add the 6th speed in there, and we'll just have it cap out at 200 miles an hour. Why not? We'll save the tune on the car, and there we go. If we did run the dyno again, odds are it's not going to change anything. Just the top speed's going to be a little bit different. Let's test it though. Might as well. This part will just be skipped if it's the same thing anyways. Yeah, literally the exact same result. No surprise there. Let's take this thing out to the track, dude. I'm pretty excited. We're going to move this over to garage entrance A, just so when we come back, we're not like, dude, where's our car? And it's just still in the dyno room. That was a mistake. All right, head over to the main gate here. We're gonna hit up the racetrack. I'm pretty excited. Hopefully this thing handles better than that R8. I know that was all-wheel drive as well, I'm pretty sure. It could just be the tires we're putting on it too. I don't know if the tire necessarily matters at all. Let's launch this thing. So far it's not handling that bad. I think the R8 actually just had maybe too much power. There we go. We just got to keep it in the lines here. Off to a kind of bad start, actually. We might be doing 2 laps here. I keep getting distracted by that rear window on here. If you guys saw that when I come up to this corner and I brake, you can see how much of it actually lights up. Oh god. Okay, missed the wall. That's good. There's no Mario Kart pickup coin sound on it. Okay, there we go. Through that bottleneck, looking good. Time's looking okay. We could be doing better. Second bottleneck around the corner here. We're gonna try to accelerate out of this thing pretty quickly. There we go. So far so bad. Terrible. Things went wrong. Things went wrong really quickly. Okay. We're gonna come through here, through the finish. Just finish out with 114-ish, 113. And we're gonna try to get, oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. I'm actually just going to restart this because I want the launch off the line to count towards our time. So let's launch this thing, get out of here. Hoping we can put down a little bit better time. I want it to at least be closely. God, we got to be a little bit more gentle on the braking here. If we depress that left trigger too far, it looks like it. Oh God, it looks like it locks up the brakes, and then we just start drifting off the track. So try to keep that a little bit more in check. That corner looking a little bit better than last time. Cleaned it up. Go, didn't come close to that wall. And then now we just have this little bottleneck here. Lightly tap the brakes. Glide through here. There we go. That was a lot cleaner. And tapped a wall. No big deal. Still doing good on time. Better than last time. And just have to come around this corner. Accelerate hard out of here. Okay, here we go. Gotta be gentle on that left stick here. Things can get kind of squirrely. And 108 across the line. I'll take that. I think that's pretty good, actually. So there you guys go. We got our minty fresh R32. We're gonna be keeping this thing for quite a while. Let's head back to the garage and see what our actual like profit would be from this restoration. So let's take a look at the car status here. The dollar amount that I bought this car for will be on the screen right now. I honestly can't remember. I think it was 10,000 maybe. That's kind of always my guess. But it looks like the car's value now is 80,000, and we got a 16,000 restoration bonus. We are not going to be selling this vehicle. We're just gonna hang on to it. I think it's pretty sweet. It makes a lot of power. It's pretty fun around the track, and it's minty fresh. So what's not to love about it? But I think that's gonna do it for this episode, you guys. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.